All right, hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out as always. So I'm a little bit late with my upload this week. This is the first time in a little over a year where I haven't released a video when I've intended to. Had a crazy week at work last week. And life gets in the way sometimes, so I still wanted to get this out for you guys, so I'm recording it today. Might look and sound a little bit different. I mean, I'm still in the deathmatch arena here. Lost, hoping not to get killed by Reinar, but I'm actually filming in the upstairs of my house as opposed to the uncomfortable cold basement. I have Bill, a good friend of mine, Bill from the Spike Feeders, is coming over a little bit later to do some casting with me for the League That Means Nothing. So we're still pumping out content. But a little bit delayed here. I didn't quite get to my video last week. So also RTN prep, again, life gets in the way. So apologies if you're on the edge of your seats for my Sunday upload. I'm sure you were all missing me. But anyways, here we are. A little bit of a less thought out video for you guys today. Again, I just wanted to get something out for you this week. But please, keep an eye, of course, watch the Spike Feeders stuff. We have some more gameplay footage coming out for that. And if you've been following along the most recent Gauntlet, there were some audio and video difficulties, but thankfully, actually the fourth game of our Gauntlet, which I think should be releasing soon, I actually have a face cam and proper audio, so be sure to check that out on the Spike Feeders, and be sure to follow the League That Means Nothing on Go Again Gaming. Really cool initiative, really cool series of games that I'm looking forward to casting with my good buddy Bill. So lots in the works, but yeah, a little bit late with my own upload. So again, a little all over the place here today. One thing I did want to show off, but okay, so what I wanted to do, first and foremost, is showcase the deck I was practicing for Road to Nationals, the Vynnset update, okay? So I want to show you my most recent thinking on the deck. Honestly, I haven't gotten reps on Vynnset in a little while. I committed a cardinal sin. I did not bring Vynnset to my Nationals. And this comes down to, if you haven't seen the video already, I talk through some of the recent changes in ELO, which I think does harm some smaller communities. Because for me, it was top 4 in Road to Nationals or bust. Like, I'm not going to get an ELO invite. So, I don't know, I think the new rules sort of make you think twice about the deck you're going to bring to Road to Nationals. And honestly, I was on a huge Brute high. I took a little bit of a step back from Vynnset, and I basically spiked my last 5 armories on Brute. So I was playing Reinar and Blitz, and KO and CC. I was getting really good results locally here, as well as on Talishar. And so I convinced myself to bring KO. I really regret it. I should have brought the deck that I love. I should have brought Vynnset. I did go 2-3 on KO, so I scrubbed out, wasn't able to make top 8, and wasn't able to move forward from there. So no Nationals invite for me, unfortunately. But anyways, I had a good time, and I want to go back and revisit this deck that I love so much, Vynnset. So I hope you guys forgive me for not bringing our queen to Road to Nationals. But again, I do think that the new ELO rules sort of, really did factor into that decision. If I had access to more Tier 2 events, or if I had access to another Road to Nationals, I would have 100% not even thought about it and brought Vynnset. I thought the consistency of KO may play in my favor. But anyways, off on a tangent. So I also, before we get into the Vynnset deck, and we'll jump on Talishar, get some games. We love Vynnset gameplay around here. I wanted to show off a couple new altars. I've been playing around with these white bordered altars. I posted this on my Instagram, by the way, at zenstatefab. You can follow me there. I post a lot about my altars on there if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But I've been playing around with these white bordered cards. I think they are really interesting in terms of altars. And this one I did entirely with these acrylic paint pens that I picked up on Amazon. If anybody's interested, let me know. I can send you a link. There's all sorts of different options, but it's essentially a paint pen. And this one just extended, that electricity off of the card over the border. Relatively simple altar, and I did this only with the paint pens. I'm really proud of the pummel. This one turned out really well. It's not going to come through on the camera, unfortunately. And you will notice, you can see where the paint ends and the card begins, because I haven't clear coated it yet. The clear coat really like helps even out those differences, so that will go a long way in terms of like pulling everything together in the end. But it's going to be hard to pick up. I don't think the camera will pick it up, but there's actually sort of a foiling. I used a silver paint pen to kind of highlight some of the spikes on the club, which in the right light, I think turned out really, really cool. And then like some blood splatter and stuff to kind of tie everything together. Again, just sort of like not a full extended art, but I think these like, you know, like selective extended arts, I guess, really pop on the white border. So I've been having fun with that. Working on little mini shadow box alters as always as well. But anyways, bunch of random stuff. Let's get into my recent thinking on Vynnset. I've been really getting some good results. Again, I really regret not bringing this to my road to nationals. I hope you guys find it in your heart to forgive me. I've betrayed our queen. Anyways, Vynnset, Iron Maiden. I still love this hero. It's such a fun hero. I'm not going to stop putting out Vynnset content. I did release on my Brute High, release a Rhinar deck tech. I am having a lot of fun on Rhinar and Blitz as well. Brute is sort of my second love outside of Runeblade, so you can't blame me too much. I think Bloodied Oval is a really interesting choice. That extra point of health can be relevant. Is it good enough to be the default, offhand? I have it in this deck as the default offhand. Arguments to be made. Tessin is interesting as a choice, but if you rely on Grimoire, and if you're, in terms of like that late game, you have to, be really careful when you pop. Grimoire can be a liability, but for that late game explosiveness, if you need to close out the game, it can be really interesting. So that's a viable option. I still have it in the sideboard, but and then there's something to be said about Scepter of Pain, which I ran as a default for a long time. So into certain matchups, that could still be the choice if you find room in the sideboard. So, but Bloodied Oval, something to consider, something to test at the very least. Crown of Providence on my head. I believe I have the new Balance of Justice as well, which is better, arguably, into certain matchups like Brute or Archer. Well, maybe not Azalea, but even Art of War Ninja. So if your opponent is going to draw this, it represents an additional card, so card advantage. So Balance of Justice, really, really interesting. It's in the sideboard for certain matchups, but Crown of Providence still on my head as the default. I'm just going to go through things quickly. You guys know the deck by now. If not, go back to my other videos where I really do deep dives. Flail of Agony, default, primary sidearm, I guess. This can, the attack, lose a life to attack thing can be relevant to make sure you get the on hurts when you close the chain from a Deathly Whale, for example. Tunic, awesome, especially if the game's going to go long. Carapace, if you need life. Again, a lot of this I need not say at this point. Grasp of the Arknight can get you out of a sticky situation to pitch for Rune Chance into it. Otherwise represents 3 points of health, which is also great. And Spellbound Creepers, shenanigans on a card, wall of text, but if you take the time to read it, which Bill, again, shout out, refuses to do, it can come up and it can be very impactful and facilitate those wide turns that we need to get off in order to swing tempo in our favor or keep our foot on the gas. I'm just going to highlight some big changes. Bounding Demagon is now in the list, and I've been admittedly I've been sleeping on this card. Yeah, it is a very, very good card. A 0 for 4 from Banish, so it's another Banished target. And I've been trying to up the density of red cards. We don't really need to run that many blue cards. I think my blue density may have been a bit high up until recently, so we're now only on 9 blues in the main board. So Bounding Demagon actually, you can think of it as a direct replacement to blue Phantom Wraith. I no longer run Phantom Wraith in blue. Bounding Demagon just gives us a very, very good target for Banish. Easy condition to meet to get it out for that 4, which is a break point. It has a lot going for it. Blocks for 3 at the very least. So, and it ups our, offensive capabilities. Still on 3, Deathly Delight. Could go down to 2. I don't know if you're worried about the saturation of Rune Gate cards. You probably want to keep all 3 in. Deathly Wail at this, so if you don't know what Deathly Delight does, again, I'm not going to spend too much time on these, but the on hurt is you gain life. So it checks how many heroes have lost life when you close the chain. It can be 1, your opponent. It can be 2, you and your opponent. So you're going to either gain 1 or 2 life, or 0 if they block everything out. Deathly Wail has arguably, again, the most, and again, this is a workhorse in the deck. It need not be said why you're running Rainbow all 9. When you close the chain on hurt, it'll check again how many heroes have lost life. So you're going to make either 1, 2 rune chance, or 0 rune chance, but often you're making at least 1, if not 2. So even something like a Mavrian Skies, which just gives go again, even if it doesn't hit to produce you those extra rune chance, you follow that Deathly Wail up with a Flail. You've now hurt yourself and likely your opponent, so you can make 2 rune chance. If the Flail hits, that's 3 rune chance. Adds up quick. We're on 3 red Envelop in Darkness and 2 yellow Envelop in Darkness. We've cut 3 blue Envelop in Darkness. If you're in favor of, so because we have a lower saturation of blues, we do have to think a little bit harder about cards that cost. So you need a pitch or you need Tunic to be up in order to get Envelop in Darkness out. Reduce the saturation of Envelop in Darkness. I haven't felt that big of an impact. Maybe it requires you to think through setup a little bit differently. Maybe you value Deathly Wail more greater. But we now have, which I'll get to in very spicy tech when we get to the sideboard, we have more ability to guarantee on hits for mob skies, which may make up for the fact that we have less of that like on your turn rune chant production. So I'm feeling pretty good about this so far. The blue envelopes are gone. We're trying to just get value here. You could consider yellow Envelop in Darkness, but Envelop in Darkness is a very, very good card. I would not consider cutting the reds at the very least. It is a 1 to make 1 rune chant, which is often that rune chant that you need to reach a critical mass in order to play out a rune gate card from your banish zone. And the next attack action card also gets a buff +3. So it's essentially a 1 for 4 value with go again. Will not work with Bounding Demagon, so do keep that in mind. Back on 3 Funeral Moon, we do like the 3 block. This can unstick us, and it's pretty versatile as a piece. It is a shadow non-attack, which allows you to trigger Vynnset's second ability. It makes a rune chant, so it can unstick you at the end of your opponent's turn on your turn. You can play it after you've presented a Deathly Wail. If they take any rune chants, you can play this and guarantee end on 3 rune chants. Lots of versatility, and most importantly now with our lower blue saturation, it costs 0, which is really nice. Running the in the main board red and blue Mavrian Skies, we have rainbow Mavrian or access to rainbow Mavrian Skies. The yellows are in the sideboard. We like Go Again enablers in this deck, so this simply gives the next Rune Blade attack action card Go Again, and on hit create 3 rune chant tokens on red, 2 on yellow, 1 on blue. And I will show you in the sideboard when we get there how we might facilitate an on-hit here. Read the Runes, we're on 2 in the main board. I think this feels so... The floor and ceiling of Read the Runes, pretty far apart. It sucks to draw into this sometimes late game. If you still have creepers up, that's one way where you can kind of cheat this out, either on your opponent's turn, give them your hand, cheat out a Read the Runes, and able to play out something you have banked, a Rune Gate card banked in Banish perhaps. You can also creepers it in on your own turn if you need that extra action point. So really good card, but the ceiling on it, so that's the floor. You got to jump through hoops to get it out essentially. You could easily play it after a Go Again, enabled Rune Gate card or attack off of a Mob Skies. But anyways, so that's the floor. The ceiling is, you see this on turn 0, and you essentially just float like 10 damage to the next turn, and it's amazing. Because even if you just banish a Rune Gate card, you're floating like 6 potential damage to the next turn. And then you play out Read the Runes, you make 3 rune chants, so you end on 4 rune chants. It's amazing. So seeing this on turn 0 is so good, but seeing it late game can require you to jump through hoops. So I'm only running 3. 2 in the main board, sorry. I think we do have access to the 3rd in the sideboard. We'll get to that. So if you're in a matchup which allows you more opportunity to set up, like if they're trying to fatigue you, if they're trying to just do sneaky things and they're not pushing aggro every turn, then there's strong justification to run 3. Okay, rest of the main board, Shadow Puppetry, awesome card. This pairs even just Shadow Puppetry and Deathly Wail. If you keep those 2 cards in hand, give them the rest of your hand. Banish the Deathly Wail if you have enough rune chance, of course, to play it out. Shadow Puppetry, triggering Vynnset's second ability, take the damage. Giving Deathly Wail go again is so good, especially if you have another like 2-cost Rune Gate card banked in your Banish zone. That's like a 2-card, 15 potentially. 2-card 15 is pretty good. So yeah, Shadow Puppetry is a great card. Also plays really nicely with Bounding Demagon, especially if you're trying to get some banked Rune Gate cards with the break point. This would Shadow Puppetry would make it come in for 5, which is really potentially problematic for your opponent. We're still on red Phantom Wraith for a critical mass of 2-cost Rune Gate cards. It's a 2 for 6 with Rune Gate, vanilla, no on hurt. And we run the Rainbow of the Widespreads. We probably know what they do by now, but 2 cost at red, 3 cost at yellow, 4 cost at blue. And on hurt, they all banish something different. So red banishes from top of deck if you've taken damage, or if your opponent has taken damage, they need to do that, banish from top of deck. Widespread Destruction, if you've taken damage on Chain Close, banishes your arsenal, or your opponent's arsenal, hopefully is where we're going with that. And blue, Widespread Annihilation, targets hand. So if they've taken damage once you close the chain, this will banish a card from hand. Apologies for the chimes in the background there. I should have muted my computer. Okay, inventory. Sideboard here, we got Pummel, one of, fun of, Pummel. Maybe I'll sneak in my extended art white bordered Pummel. Got to read the proxy rules, but I think that one passes. Anyways, or not proxy, but alter. 2 costs, so the dream is to have a blue, Envelop in Darkness, Pummel. A blue nicely pays for both the Envelop in Darkness and the Pummel. So you're pumping your attack, and you're secretly pumping it, potentially another 4 on hit, discard a card. This could also guarantee or facilitate an on hit from Mavrian Skies. So fun of Pummel. If you're siding in blues, we have a few blues that you have access to in the sideboard, which I'll get to. Then maybe Pummel is the choice. Read the Runes. Again, here's our 3rd copy of Read the Runes. If your if you think your opponent is going to give you opportunity to set up. Reduce to Rune Chant. Still in the deck here. Honestly, I'm starting to... It's a great card, don't get me wrong. It can represent a 0 for 5 if you have a Rune Chant. This is free. It makes your Rune Chant blocks for 4. As a defense reaction, really, really good. But if you have to pay for this, it feels pretty awkward. And then you're kind of stuck with it in your hand, or you like arsenal it or something, so you don't really want to play it out. And because if you have to pay for it, essentially it turns this card and whatever you pay into 2 blocks, which is not good. Does make your Rune Chant, which can unstick you. But so honestly, I prefer Sigil of Suffering. So the defense reactions we have to bring into the deck if you're going up against an aggro deck, Sigil of Suffering and Reduce to Rune Chant. Sigil of Suffering is also a 0 for 5 value. Essentially, if they choose to take the arcane that is presented on defense, this buffs its defense from 3 to 4. So really, really good. These often actually nowadays come in before the Reduce to Rune Chant. And there's argument to be made to find more room for more defense reactions into certain matchups. It can be really valuable if you're trying to eke out every little bit of value. So some considerations there. 2 of Revel in Runeblood you could play 3 of. This is a very impactful card. You have to have played another non-attack action and an attack action card, so like something like Mob Skies, Deathly Whale. This unlocks your banish zone. So you want to have a banished Rune Gate card in there. So if you're able to, like, at beginning of turn, banish a Widespread Annihilation is the dream, because this alone can represent the 4 rune chance required to get this out. So then you can go like 2 wide, following up your first attack with this Widespread Annihilation off of the rune chance created by Revel in Runeblood. Runeblood Incantation, 3 of in the deck. It is a really good card for setup. I keep flip-flopping back and forth on this. Run 2, run 0. I'm back on 3. I do think it's important in terms of setup, especially where we're running a smaller amount of rune chant generators like Envelop in Darkness. So I think 3 of makes sense here in this new deck list. It's in the sideboard because you may not want to put it in if you're really trying to just go full aggro, but it likely goes into most matchups. I'm testing this, okay? So we're on Sonata Galaxia, and for a while I was testing Sonata Galaxia, often you can do like 2 Sonatas, 2 Incantations. You can run a Looming Doom, which is another potential target that you could fetch, but honestly, Looming Doom is like, the stars need to align for you to get optimal value from that card, so I don't know. I've since pulled it out. Runeblood Barrier is not really a good target. The other one is, I can't remember it anymore. It's like a wizard with a little lantern. It creates 3 rune chants on your next turn. It's an aura. This is another one that you can tutor up with Sonata Galaxia, so I had a few copies of those in the list too. But then, like, you're risk drawing into them, so I have Sonata Galaxia still in the list as sort of a test slot. Testing with it, and you're gonna, basically this will represent like a free Runeblood Incantation that you can tutor up, and which can grease the wheels for your next 3 turns. So I'm testing it. This is the configuration that I've settled on for now. By all means, throw it in. Throw the extra auras in to see how they feel. But this is sort of where I've landed with it now. May come out of the list, I'm not sure. Our 3 yellow Mauve Skies. Again, if you're trying to push straight aggro, these go in. If you're trying to be real sneaky, I'll show you what I mean. So then you get Rainbow Mauve Skies. This one will create 2 rune chants, which opens the floodgates for those 2-cost rune gate cards. Chains of Mephetis. Lots of decks like to draw cards right now. You know, Brute is seeing a resurgence. Blood Rush Bellow. And you could catch somebody off guard with this. If they don't know what it does, or if they're not paying attention to what's going on the other side of the table, it can really bamboozle their Blood Rush Bellow turn. So this would go in against Brute. This would go in against other classes that I can't think of right now that want to draw cards. It's also a blue, which blocks for 3, which is great. It sticks around for 2 turns, by the way, if you manage to play it out from Banish. Sticks around for 1 turn otherwise. Here's the spicy tech. And I did not come up with this. Shout out to content creator. Bigger content creator. Name is escaping me. He, a while back, said, why don't Vynnset players play Lunging Press? I don't know. We were testing with Art of War for a long time. Art of War was actually in this list up until recently, because Art of War can represent that +1 at instant speeds after blocks that can push an attack over the top, hit to basically what we want to do is make sure that our Rune Gate cards or our attacks, period, that have, off the heels of Mauve Skies, hit. And then Mauve Skies activates and makes us Rune Chant so we can keep going. Lunging Press does a great job of, like, Art of War can be very, very good. Again, it's like that floor and ceiling really fall far apart. Can be super awkward. Can be great if you have Tunic up, because then it's functionally free. So, like, the stars can align, that makes a really good Art of War, but often it feels a bit clunky in your hand. It blocks for 0, which sucks. Ends up sitting in your arsenal sometimes. So Lunging Press, in my opinion, like the other modes of Art of War also, before we move on from that discussion, like the Banish Draw 2 can be impactful depending on the makeup of your hand, but you essentially need like 2 Rune Gate cards that you're happy, or 2 cards that you're happy to banish. It needs to be an attack action card that you're banishing with Art of War. So Lots of conditions need to be met. Lunging Press is simple. It's a blue card, which is nice that we have extra blues available in our sideboard here to up that blue count if we need it. But most importantly, it's a 0 cost that pumps your attack as an attack reaction. This can really catch your opponent off guard, and it can bamboozle them, facilitating Mauve Sky's on hit. And this is like the value snowballs from here. So don't tell any. I'm telling everybody about it. Well, I'm not telling everybody. I'm telling you guys about this. So bamboozle your locals with Lunging Press. This has really outperformed for me. I'm really impressed with this piece, and people are going to think I'm crazy, but please test it. I really do think it's impactful, and don't tell your locals that you're running it. Oblivion is in the sideboard here. If you are running, or if you're putting in the third, read the runes. If you need more blues, it's a fun card as well. So one of fun of. All right, quickly, as mentioned before, we have Balance of Justice against Heroes, Brute, others that want to draw cards. This can give you card advantage, and arguably better than Crown of Providence, which is saying a lot in some matchups. Dyadic Carapace, if you need to block a lot, so argument to be made to run this into fast aggro games. It represents 3 health in that case. Also Arcane Barrier 2 to help with the Kano matchup. Along with that Arcane Barrier 2, we do have Grimoire, as mentioned before. Can be impactful for that late game swing, last ditch effort sort of thing. But also Arcane Barrier 1. So we can easily run AB3, as well as Spell Void 2. Basically, the only reason Ebb and Fold is in here is for Spell Void 2. The instant, you're not going to crack it against a Kano, and you're probably not putting it in against any other matchup. So, Spell Void 2, which just guarantees basically the win against Kano. If you don't have creepers, if you're looking for a budget option, check out my budget builds, by the way. I have both a budget CC list and a budget Blitz list floating around out there. And with associated videos. If you're looking for a budget headpiece, Ebb and Fold's a great choice. Can be impactful on turn 0 to set up if you're not going first. But Dance of Darkness could also be an interesting budget sideboard leg piece against Kano. You could really bamboozle him if you want to up the amount of Spell Void you have, but this is often enough. Okay. So, some spicy new additions to the deck, which I really do think help improve its damage output overall. It's Runeblade, so yes, you can run into consistency issues. That's true for any Runeblade, really. However, I've been getting some really nice results on this list. So let's jump on Talishar and see who we can pair into. I'm going to do less editing on this video because I do want to release it. There you go. Kano. We're going to go first. We're going to side in Ebb and Fold. We're going to side in our... I can't have 3 hands. So we're going to side in our Arcane Barrier. And sideboarding is so easy against Kano because we just side in our blues and yellows as well as some damage output. So Mauve Skies pairs nicely with Revel. We got the Oblivions. We might as well throw in the old Reduce. Do we want to pummel? Probably not. So we probably just throw in a couple incants, and I feel like we're not going to run the defense reactions. I feel pretty good about those choices. Excuse me. All right. We only have a Phantom Wraith or a Phantom Wraith to banish, so we're going to banish a Phantom Wraith. Surprise, surprise. I wish we had a blue that we could pitch to Grasp here, honestly. I think we just pass. Do we just pass? It is Kano too, so we don't really dump our hand. Want them to think that we're sitting on a blue maybe, so I think we just pass. See what they do. They will activate Kano, I assume. See what they got off the top. I'm going to turn my laptop volume down as well so that we're not getting my email notification chimes coming through anymore. They're thinking long and hard about what they want to do here at end of turn. I think you're just going to want to pitch to Kano, right? Pitch to Kano. Surprise, surprise. Oh, they had to pitch. Oh, no, they're just filtering. Keeping the Blazing Aether in their deck, which makes sense. Aether Dart. Sure. Not the end of the world. It will allow us to filter our hand as well. Ooh, Lesson. What do they tutor on turn 0, though? I don't know. I don't know what Kano wants to do. How important is a sideboard for us? I would really like a sideboard, but I think maybe we just prevent the lesson. Might be wrong there. They see we're open, so they will, you know, ping us a little bit with this Aether Dart, but I don't think that's the end of the world. If I knew better, I could better, obviously, play around that lesson if I knew what they were trying to do. So we lose 1 life. We don't get a sideboard, which is not the end of the world. You know, preserved most of our life total here, so pretty happy with that. It's not going to matter how we order those. All right, activate Kano. Aether Spindle deals damage. On our turn, I'd really like to... Like, greedy move would be keep almost the hand. Because we'd banish Deathly Wail, go to 2 rune chance. Ugh, we'd have to pitch. Oh yeah, we'd need to keep the whole hand. I don't know if that's feasible. Because we also go shields down, but we're pushing damage. Alternatively, we just banish. We could banish and bank the Deathly Wail. More likely, we're going to banish the Widespread Ruin. And then go... Oh, I don't know. I think we preserve life. Because keeping the whole hand would allow us to do fun things. Oh, let's get greedy. We want to push... I want to threaten their life total a little bit. So that they don't feel they can spend too much time setting up. This could be wrong. We'll see. Because if I keep the hand, we can actually go too wide here, which will force cards from their hand, and it will force tick their life total down quite a bit. There's 2 courses of action. We either banish Widespread Ruin, Shadow, Puppetry, send the Whale. I think that might be the play. Kano once again, see what's on top. Ooh, yeah, they do get to set up a little bit this turn. That's okay. We're going to pressure them here. We took 5. It's not the end of the world. Banish Widespread Ruin. Play Shadow Puppetry. Every time we are about to present Deathly Wail, we absolutely pay the life on the Shadow non-attack. Then we're going to present Deathly Wail from hand. We are going shields down, but if they choose to overextend here, they're going to pay for it in terms of their life total. I'm not too worried about this. This is 2 and 6. Guaranteed 2 rune chain generation on chain close. They're not doing anything. They want to see what we have after this, I guess. We don't, regardless of what we hit off of Shadow Puppetry, well, we definitely don't want to banish that. We wouldn't banish it either way because we have 2 banked. So we're going to break the chain and present Widespread Ruin. I wish we had, well, Destruction wouldn't have worked there. We were 1 rune chance shy, but you can really bamboozle a Kano if you threaten their arsenal sometimes. So we're face up. We're telling them exactly what we're presenting here, and they have the propensity to take damage, so it's a little concerning. But we still have Ebonfold as a safety net. They're letting us just play it out, or are they gonna Kano before this resolves? I think they're really just feeling out what we're playing. Or what our turn looks like, I guess. I don't know. Thinking about what they want to do. I take it. All right. Well, I assume you're doing something. Oh, I forgot we're going to lose the Rebel. Sure. Pitching I to opt Kano is a pretty good move. They have a full grip here, so they are probably going to do some damage to us, but they're down to 14 now. And this is their turn. Wait, I missed that. I thought they were doing this at the end of our turn. This is weird. Is this weird? I don't know. That seems weird. I guess it doesn't matter if they do it at the end of our turn or their turn, but we were shields down, so... we don't really care about Aether Dart. I haven't even really assessed my hand. I just know that we don't really care to pitch for that. We have 2 blues. Swell Tidings is 5. If it deals more than 5, which it won't, we will definitely block 3 on this. I don't know if we care to... we have no rune chance, which sucks. So we definitely need to pitch one of the... Wish we had Tunic, but obviously we can't run it in this matchup. But we'll block 3. Keep the other one to pitch to Grasp. So I think we just go Banish Deathly, Grasp. So we're again going to be like sort of shields down, but we're at least holding a card, which is sort of like bluffing a blue. We're going to present another 8 to them. We're still at 27, which is relatively comfortable when we have access to Spell Void 2. So we're still feeling pretty good. They are just taking it. It's very strange. They might be figuring out Kano. We'll Arsenal this, no problem. Yeah, I think they might be just figuring out the deck, which is fine, but it does make for a bit of a strange matchup for us. They're not really doing what we're expecting them to do. I love seeing Lunging Press and Mauve Skies. We might actually just like... We have the life lead to maybe get a bit greedy, but nah, we won't be able to do it all. Because we need 3 rune chants. Aether Quickening, what does this do? 4 Arcane if it deals 4 or more than 4. It gains Go Again, so it does not have Go Again. Presenting 4. We can prevent 3, but then we wouldn't be doing much on our turn. I think we just force them to have it next turn, which means we can't block. So you're like, we haven't really been able to float rune chants turn over turn, which has been a bit awkward, but so we are going to just take this damage. 22, still relatively comfortable there. Crucible, Aether Arc, sure. 2 damage, they would ponder twice? No, each hero dealt damage. It would ponder once if it dealt damage, which is fine. We kind of just have to. The banish is going to be Funeral Moon here. Do we go Mauve Deathly? I think that's the only play. Mauve Deathly. Hopefully end on rune chants. Honestly, hasn't been the best. Our hands haven't really lined up that well. I still think we're well in the lead here. This forces them to basically have the kill, unless they want to start giving us very, very good cards. So that's great for us. They took the 1 rune chant. We can play the Funeral Moon out, choose to pay, end on 3 rune chants. Now we get to kind of facilitate or roll our next turn. Do we want to present Flail is the question. It forces another card from hand. And no matter what, we'll end on 2. I think that's good. Argument there that to be made, if we knew, if we had the forethought that we were going to swing with Flail, you know, maybe we don't pay the life on Funeral Moon, but that's fine. We're still at 17. I think they're really against the ropes here. Kano. So we're going to go Deathly Whale. So we could Mauve Skies. We don't have a shadow on attacks. We can't guarantee 2 rune chance on close. But, you know, if we used all our resources, we could Mob Skies, Deathly Wail, Creepers in, read the runes. Like, we have a big turn here. I don't know if it's necessary to go that big. But either way, we're going to banish this Widespread Ruin. I think we're just going to go Mob Skies Deathly and then see what they do is the course of action. Because we get really fancy there and like Creepers in, the Mob Skies after the Deathly, but this allows us to just present lethal. They have to go off. We are holding a blue. We can functionally prevent 5 Arcane. So they're going to have a hard time killing us from 17s. Not impossible, of course. Nothing's impossible with Kano. But yeah, I don't know if we assume they have, if they have Wildfire, we'll learn about it pretty quick. But I don't know if we assume they have, yeah, Blazing Aether, which they just pitched. Hat. Sure. Digging for an answer, I guess. Yeah, I don't think this is looking very good for them. Cracking E-Pot. Aether Spindle. Do we just prevent? They might have a Blazing Aether, I guess. Yeah, we'll prevent it. Why not? Don't need to use a Spell Void quite yet. Yeah. Again, we would have like a really impactful turn, but it doesn't really matter. We just have to present bare minimum lethal and not die, which I think we can manage here. And 1 float, activating Kano. Aether Quickening is not quite going to get them there. Well, we're not going to pitch anything to it, I don't think. Just, yeah. Or maybe we just pitch the Reed, who cares, and then let's Spell Void it as well, just in case they are sitting on that Blazing Aether. Yeah. Okay, GG's. Let's go main menu. Let's see if we... That was a bit of a strange Kano matchup, and honestly, Kano is like, if there's a favored matchup for Vynnset. If your locals... here's a selling point for Vynnset. If your locals are plagued with Kano, Kano's making more of a resurgence appearance these days. Vynnset preys on Kano. I don't... Ooh, okay. We went from easy matchup to hard, very hard. Now, this is interesting. I have tons of Guardian. Let's see what I have as a Guardian setup. Running Bloodied Oval. Tunic, because it's likely going to go long. And we're just running full pile, which I think is correct into Guardian. That Sonata Galaxia might come up, might need some setup ability. I want to up our volume of blues, so we run full pile, and this configuration of equipment into Bravo, which is my current thinking. Honestly, like, there's also an argument to be made to run a clean 60, but we'll see how this goes. So, I like this. Our matches kind of span the spectrum. We got a very easy matchup for us, probably our most favored matchup, Kano, into maybe our least favored matchup, Bravo. I haven't played this matchup in a little while. Showtime's an amazing start to their game. Oof. Banish Deathly, this. I think that's just good for setup. I think we banish Deathly, Grasp, and then play out the Envelop. This allows us to play out the Deathly and float 2 rune chants to the next turn. If they're trying to set up, they're going to have to take some damage here. So this is 3, 1 unpreventable, and 8. 11 damage, plus 2 that we can float to the next turn with the rune chants, and I strongly suspect that they're not going to want to give us that many cards, but we'll see. Bravo can achieve a lot on 3 cards. We got a few non-attack actions that we don't really need. We're going to banish this Phantom Wraith, and the rest is sort of like, oh god. Icing on the cake is what I was going to say. I think we're going to have to give them all of our non-attack actions. We can't take advantage of Bloodied Oval value right now. If we give them all the NAAs, that's 6, 7, 8. We need to prevent at least 8, yes? Yes. They're not presenting Pummel here, which is good. I don't want to give them all of our equipment yet because it's good to fall back on. So I think we block like this. Take 3. Ooh, that's fine. We still get to present 8 on our turn with 1 card. What other hero gets to do that? Pure value in Vynnset. Pure value. Sucks that we had to throw a bunch of 2 blocks under the bus, but, you know, we make some concessions for sure. So blocking out the rune chance, thinking about preserving life here. Yep, giving us, I'm happy to see them give us some of these, but obviously they had a pretty red heavy hand, so preserving their life. If we manage to keep the whole hand here, we have some strong setup, which I think we have to do. So they're just presenting fists, so we're just going to take 4. That's the thing, we can't be afraid to take damage here. We're going to banish one of these, present Shadow Puppetry, pay the life, and play the other Deathly Wail from hand. 1 guaranteed damage, 2 guaranteed rune chance at the end of the turn, plus 6 on hit, look at the top and choose to banish. They'll give us 2 cards to prevent that on hit, and we're happy. Great time to draw into or reduce your rune chant. They're presenting a Chokeslam for 8. On hit, can't buff attacks, which we probably want to do. We have a Tunic up and an Envelop in Darkness. Do we want to banish the Annihilation? This is on Crush, yes. So 4 or more. So we give them Grasp. Well, no matter how we slice our next turn, we could give them Bloodied Oval instead. Just get the value from it. Let's do that. And then pass to reactions. This will block 5 so we don't get crushed. I had a little panic attack. I didn't look if they had any float for Pummel, but good. I think we are happy to banish the Widespread Annihilation. Okay, the thing is, I think we managed that no matter what. The thing is, like, I don't know if we're supposed to present Deathly Wail here, which allows us to float Rune Chance. So if we do that, we can just sit on the Envelop in Darkness and play this out. And then maybe present Widespread Annihilation next turn. Or do we want to try and get Widespread Annihilation out while we have the value? I think that makes more sense, actually. So let's use Tunic Resource to play Incant, which will facilitate us getting Deathly Wail out next turn. We'll also sit on this in Arsenal. And then we just do Annihilation, which is a very threatening card. It will force maybe 3 cards from hand, probably. Oh, they have to pitch a red. That's nice. We love to see that. Don't really understand that. Oh, it had 4 rune chance. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, they give us their whole hand, which we are happy to take. We get a cool card that can help us get Deathly Wail out that we get to sit on in Arsenal. We didn't draw into a brick, which is great. So we're going to banish our only really valid banish target. We are going to play out Envelop in Darkness, pitching Oblivion, paying, since we're following it up with a Deathly Wail. We could play both. No, yes, we could. Let's go Shadow Puppetry. We don't need to pay since we already paid. Deathly Wail. This will be for 9. 3 and 9 with a somewhat relevant on hit. We do have a second target. When I close the chain here, we'll get 2 rune chance. We could Creepers in the Revel if we really want to push damage here, which might be the play. They seem to want to keep our hand. We're also happy to banish Funeral Moon. So I think, they did take Arcane, right? They did take Arcane. So I think we break the chain. Gotta be careful when you're breaking creepers against Bravo, because you might miss it later in the game, but I think now, since they look like they want to keep their hand, now might be the time. I'm gonna creepers in Reed. This might be wrong, but it is what it is. And then we're gonna Deathly, and it still allows us to stay. I don't know, this feels pretty good. Another 5 and 4, another 9 damage on a turn where they presumably want to keep their cards. Plus guaranteed to end on 3 rune chance. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's do it now. Why not? Sneak that in. Make a 3rd rune chant. Close the chain. We get to keep Grasp. Cool. Cool hand, actually. I don't mind this. I don't mind this. Bounding Demagon. We're at 5 rune chants. We can tutor up a 2nd Revel. This would gain Go again, right? If we choose X of 2. So, do we Sonata now? Excuse me. We kind of need to Sonata now while we have the rune chance, right? X. So what I don't know with Talishar is, are they asking? I want to pay 4, right? Let's do that. And we're going to tutor up another Incant. And we're going to Mauve Skies. And we're going to Bounding from Arsenal for 5 and 4. Go again on hit 3 rune chance. We'll have Tunic up next turn. We have a bunch of incants to make rune chance. Not a bad turn. Not super spicy. They're going to defense react this. They're going to let it hit. That's wrong. That's what I thought. I didn't think it's understandable. Talishar doesn't represent Mauvrian Skies that obviously, so that's fair. Okay, the question is, if we keep bounding in hand, we have Providence up. We have Providence up, so I think it just goes Arsenal. So we don't really care to push another 3, I don't think. This hand is a bit more awkward. Maybe we did want to push another 3. 4 or more, put a card from their arsenal bottom of deck. I don't know if we care. I mean, like, we could just crown it away. We want Go again. Sonata's awkward here because we don't really have... It won't have Go again unless we pitch into it, which might be fine. Do we have a... We might have a turn here. I mean, obviously we have a turn. I think we're just going to crown, take some damage. Ooh, 7 damage, though. Go to 18. Alternatively, I think we're just getting greedy here. Alternatively, we crown... and give them wide, because like just banishing wide, the thing that I get fixated on, like just banishing widespread, like we're okay just giving them these cards, I think, because we'll sink this, get another card. If it's a goat, no, yeah, we want this in Arsenal, I think. This is on Crush, right? Yeah, okay. I think we just don't get too greedy. I think we block like this. Sink this. Argument to be made to keep crown there too. Like, yeah, the thing that I don't know is, like, I don't know how to properly evaluate Galaxia yet. There's a, like, potential that you don't, like, you keep that if you value it. more than I am. I don't know. They don't have an arsenal either that we're threatening with destruction, which is not great. We're still going to be pushing damage though, so pitching destruction. We don't have it, so this is going to go in arsenal. This is not really doing anything unless we creepers it in for some reason. I don't think that makes sense. So 3 and 6. I think this was the play. I don't know. That last turn was... let me know in the comments if you would have played that differently. I'm curious. Presenting 6, blocking 6. So they gave us most of their cards. They're probably just going to present Fist here. We get to set up, so I'm not that upset with this, with how this shook out. Arsenal that. Oh, we got a lot of blues. And we don't even have, well, I guess we sided in a bunch of our blues. Okay. Banish Widespread Ruin. We could play it out. Or... there are lots of different ways we could play this. Lots of different ways. Yeah, we lost creepers. I think that's what they were playing to last turn there. Blocking all the arcane. Kind of resetting us, which honestly is fair. Okay, I have a plan. Banish Widespread. Mauve Skies. I don't think this is the Rebel turn. I think this is a setup turn again. But like setup while pushing damage. So Mauve Skies, Widespread. 2 and 6. We will be able to follow this up with Deathly Wail from hand. Which will allow us to hopefully float some rune chants, unless they like just dump their hand on us again. That's a potential. They have a D-React in Arsenal, is my guess. Yes. Damn. But they're hoping to keep their cards, and we're hoping to set up. So let's see who gets their way. I'm going to present Deathly Wail. Do you have another D-React? That would be good for you and bad for us. They're going to give us a card. Are they going to let this hit? They are not. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. That's okay. We force some cards out of their hand. We're not going to be able to, like, we get to float one rune chant functionally from Incant, but I would have liked a second one. Excuse me. Command and Conquer, threatening Arsenal, which is a good card. On our turn, we can Deathly Delight. We can if we want to get greedy. Ugh. The Revel is such a good target, but we need to set up. We need a turn to set up. This might be the turn to set up. If it is, then we give them everything but Destruction and just bank it and then pass. They don't have Arsenal, so what can they do? Is this the setup turn? Because then we can also play this Incant out. Doot. Question mark? I don't know if it's worth just pushing the Delight. Like, this is the thing about Bravo. Sometimes you have to be okay to just, like, take a setup turn to try and push big damage. We're, like, we actually have card advantage. Like, we have more cards in deck right now. Can we fatigue a Bravo? Let's do this. We lose our one of fun of Pummel, but meh. If it lines up with a blue and an envelop, we're laughing, but otherwise it's fine. Okay, banish this, Tunic to this, and then just pass. Okay. Good turn setup next time. I wish we had creepers for this read. We're happy to give them basically 2 cards here. Disable sucks for us. Yeah. That kind of throws a wrench in the spokes. Tempted to 5, 6, 7. Give them most of our hand. Just continue setup. I don't know. But just based on what they presented us, I don't know if we have much choice. Let's try that. We're taking some damage. All we're doing is setting up, but they're still not getting Arsenal, so I'm not that scared of what they might present. Okay. We have a couple D-reacts, which is awkward. We don't have a non-attack action, which is problematic with the Rebel. So our decisions so far have not really paid off, unfortunately. And we're definitely like, we have enough, oh, it has Dominate. And there's no one hit, so that's kind of fine. I'm just going to take 5. It's not great, honestly. Not great. The Rebel has become more of a liability. I have regrets, my friends. I have regrets. They have 1 float. Do we present Sigil to them? They'll take a damage. Or do we just get the value off of Reduce right now? Let's just get the value off Reduce because I think they want to keep this in there. They want to keep that in their arsenal, so they'll probably just take the damage. So let's build up a bunch of rune chants. I wish we had a go again or creepers. I would even at this point creepers and Rebel to get the extra action point to go too wide. We take 5 to 12. I am starting to like think a little bit more about saturation of rune gate cards and banish. We don't mind adding a 3rd, I don't think. I really don't like this. We could just ditch it. Oh, that feels so bad. Oh, it feels so bad. Do we play a Rebel for 0 value just to get it out and replace it with a lunging press? Because then if we draw into like Mauve Skies, how many Mauves have we seen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 9. There are 4 left. Lunging Press or Revel. Lunging Press or Revel. Man. I don't want to choose. But Sigil would be so nice in Arsenal. Okay, we're going to present Widespread Destruction no matter what on this turn while I continue to reflect on my life decisions. I guess we've chosen already to keep Revel, but this is 7 and 6. It's 13. That threatens their arsenal that they worked hard on, potentially, taking damage to secure, so this is maybe fine. I don't know. But we're falling a little bit behind. Yeah, this turn could have been really spicy depending on what we drew into, but alas, maybe next turn. Okay, blocking out a bunch of the arcane, taking 1. Yep, no, blocking out all of the arcane. And then giving us a bunch of equipment, presumably. So 2 pieces of equipment, or just 1 and sinking their arsenal. That makes a lot of sense, too. We don't care to lunging press this. They're going to take 4, or they're going to de-react. They're going to de-react. Do we care? We don't care if this hits now. They don't have an arsenal, so we're not going to lunging press it. Unless I missed something. There was no on-hit or anything there, so that's fine. Still not drawing into our go again enablers, which sucks. So, Widespread Ruin. Let's filter a bit, I think. Pitching to grass would cost 5. Do we want to keep... I don't think we want to keep holding this lunging press. So I think we pitch to grass, pitching these 2, just filter our hand a bit. Because we really need to dig for a Mauve or a go again so that we can Revel. And then we're going to just present one of our ruins. So it's 9 damage. We preserve 2 Ring Gate cards and banish. I understand that, like, we're taking far too much to blood debt by working so hard to set up. So this was maybe the wrong play, but this is what's required for Bravo sometimes, is we really need to like go tall to push damage, because their life total has not really budged in a little while. We've run out of smoothing from incant, which also sucks. So we're not feeling... oh god, what is this hand? Lunging press, not helping us in this game. I promise it's good. It's better than it's leading us to believe right now. We're just going to sigil this. Yeah. That leaves us with a very awkward hand. We're just going to banish one of these lunging presses and probably filter away the rest. Unfortunately, but we're still digging to make a Revel turn work. Oh well. You know, this does happen. Awkward draws at the end of the game here. Not allowing us to really get those impactful turns that we need off. They're going to take one. There we go. We made their life total budge from 21 to 20. Banish a lunging press. Pitch everything into this, because get out of my face. Oh, we can't. That's fine. We'll pitch the thing. That's fine. Yep, we're good. Another 8. Another 8. Give us cards, please. Ooh, they're running lunging press too. That's fun. Welcome to the club. Lunging press club. Okay. Blocking 6. Okay. I miss creepers. I miss creepers. Banish something we don't want to ban. It's all bad. It's all bad. Banish something. We're at 7. Yeah, this is not going well. It was looking so promising early game, and this Revel has kind of screwed us. Maybe we shouldn't have played around it. We are in a pickle. I think we can only block 2. Block with this. Lunging press, take 2 to 5. Take 2 to 5. Banish obliv. Oh, I could have blocked it out. Forgot about chaining resource. Should have blocked it out. That's okay. We'll banish Oblivion. It's not going to come up in this game. I think we just... let's preserve Tunic Resource now that we are aware of it. No to that. This is still 11 damage. It'll force cards out of hand. We don't have any banked Rune Gate cards. We've kind of like missed the window on Revel at this point, unfortunately. So it's getting worse and worse, and we ended up taking a lot of damage trying to set up for it, which is not great. So end game here really didn't line up for us, unfortunately, but you know, it's a tough matchup. Bravo's a tough matchup. A lot has to go your way for it to work out in your favor, unfortunately, but that is the nature of the game. Now we get our Mauve Skies. I'd love to see... So we can give 1 Mauve Skies. Ugh, man. Our life total is really becoming a liability. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Did I mention it was not good? Not good. Okay. All we can do is the best we can do. That's a saying. All we can do is the best we can do. Sticking with it. Stand behind it. Okay. I want to take 2, please, and then I would like to die to you, Mr. Bravo. Hello? Take 2, go to 3. Banish Deathly Delight. Use Tunic Resource plus Deathly Wail to Grasp. That feels bad. Mauve Skies. Deathly Delight. Revel? Probably. Just get the value. Then we have to Flail, which hurts us. Ouch. Oh, we'll gain 2. That's fine. Yep. All right, I would like to take 2, please. Bear with us. We're thinking long and hard about whether we want to... Can we even lunging press this? No, they're just going to grab a snack. Come on, Bravo. Hurt me. Let's go. I'm at 5. Mr. Bravo. Are you home? Maybe we just claim victory. No, we wouldn't do that. Refresh. Claim victory. Vynnset wins. No. I will say hello. Are you there? I mean, they got the win. Not over till it's over. But we're pretty far behind. There's a road forward. Right? I don't know. We'll see. They need to come back to the table, though. For those of you still watching, thank you. I apologize I'm not editing this video. I just want to get it out for you guys. But normally I would edit this dead air out. In this case, I'm not going to. So if you're still watching, and if you haven't fast-forwarded through this section, I love you. No, I really do appreciate your viewership, your support. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Subscribe if you haven't already. 500 sub giveaway at time of recording is still live. We're about 11 away from 500, which is exciting. But still time to get in on the giveaways. Get in on the giveaway. Give me a comment. What do you think? If we claim victory, does it count as a win for Vynnset against Bravo? I would know in my heart that it does not. We can beat Bravo, but we needed to see these Mavs guys a little bit earlier. Could have been real spicy. Mavs guys with like a lunging press at the right time, with like a Revel to follow it up. It's like 7 rune chance. Now I'm just rambling. Mr. Bravo. All right, we're going to give him another 30 seconds. 35 seconds. I'm going to be generous. I hope you're doing well, though. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I know we like Vynnset gameplay around here. Like I said, I am sort of testing with Brood as well. So, you know, the Rhinar video didn't do super well. I know a lot of people know me for my Vynnset content and probably came to the channel for Vynnset content. So I'm not giving up on Vynnset, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely full in. Sometimes you need to take a step back, though. I was pretty hard focused on Vynnset for a long time. So I do want to enjoy the game in different ways. And so part of that is revisiting Brute for me. It's sort of revitalized, you know, my love for the game. So anyways, apologies that this game wasn't, we weren't able to finish this game out. I'm going to claim victory, but you know what? We're going to scrub that match because we don't want it to impact our results. But overall, good results on the deck here. I think you'll see. Having gotten some reps, as you can see, you know, this is my hiatus from Vynnset for a little while. But when I was like really testing this to see if it was viable for Road to Nationals, and again, I really do think it was, and you'll see my win rate against KO. There were 5 KOs at my Road to Nationals. Pretty good. So I think it might have been the call, honestly, and I regret second guessing that. But yeah, I was a little bit afraid, honestly, and I really wanted to make the most optimal choice, and I just felt the KO had a little bit more of an edge in terms of like consistency. But honestly, based on my results, Vynnset's super viable right now. So don't sleep on Vynnset. Don't make the mistakes that I made. We see our little Bravo thing that we claim to have won. Let's exclude that and look back at our results and see that we've lost every single game against Bravo. Is that the case? No. Yeah. Kasai's a tough matchup for us as well. Unless there's something I'm missing, I am generally uncomfortable against Warriors, but we get some wins against Olympia. We got some wins against Dory. Where's Dory? No, we don't have any matchups against Dory. Yeah, Victor's tough. Again, Guardian's a little tough for us. Less so when it comes to Betsy. We did get a loss, but I think Betsy's probably a bit of a better one for us. Our RTN, by the way, was taken down by Azalea. Shout out Gwyneth. Congratulations on the win. Anyways, so I'm going to leave it at that. Give the deck a try. I will open up this RTN prep deck list, make it public so you can find it. I'll put the link in the video description, all that good stuff. But for now, I hope you guys take care. I'm going to go get ready for when Bill arrives. We're going to do some casting. So once again, if you're still watching, make sure you follow the gameplay that I do with Bill and the Spike Feeders over at Spike Feeder HQ, as well as Elliot and Kaylee, good friends. But lots of really fun Blitz gameplay footage, very high quality stuff over there at the Spike Feeders Fab. And really excited to get involved in the League That Means Nothing. I'm hoping to play in the League That Means Nothing next month. But for this month, doing a bit of casting here for the first time. So that should be fun. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. And take care for now. Cheers.